Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are making this gorgeous little poppy that you see right here, and today we are making two versions, okay? Now you can either do the more fuller, the longer stitch, the wider, a bit more curved version, or you can make a lot smaller and less, less fuller and a very small piece, if you will. So the stitches are a little bit smaller. So you get the option to make either one of them, which is fantastic. All right, I'm not going to talk too much about it because you're going to hear about it in the tutorial, but you will need some yarn, very, very minimal. This is a whole little batch that I had lying around, very, very minimal as you can see. You'll need your two colors. The initial colors are black and red, but so that you could see the stitches, I did the actual tutorial in the green. All right, so you will need very, very minimal. I say very minimal. Use the hook size that suits your yarn. I used an 8-ply yarn or a DK weight or a 3 weight overseas, which calls for the 4mm hook, but you can make yours in any yarn type you like. I use wool. You can make yours in acrylic. You will need scissors and you will need a stitch marker, at least one. Yep. All right, that's about it, guys. I'm not going to tell you much more about it. If you wanted to create one for yourself, your family, your friend, that's great. If you're going to create many and sell them, make sure that you do them in honor of your local Veterans Community Service and help them out. All right, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Mary. Good luck creating your gorgeous little poppy. All right, so we're going to have that in the background, and I'm actually going to give you two versions, and this gives you the option of whether you want to make it like this or whether you want to make it the other way. So I will give you two versions which are pretty much the same, but you can use smaller stitches, if you will, and make yours a lot smaller, and also less stitches if you want to make yours more flat. All right, so it's entirely up to you, but we're all going to start off by creating that very first part, which is the little bud in there, and we're going to start by making a magic loop or a magic circle. So grabbing your tail end of your yarn, popping it in front, leaving yourself enough to weave in. Grab your working end of your yarn, wrap it around 2 fingers like so, forming a little X. All right, now you're grabbing your hook, and you can use whatever hook that your yarn calls for. Mine is an 8-ply yarn or a DK weight or a 3 weight overseas. It calls for a 4mm hook. That's the one I'm using. You can use different yarns and threads as well. This is just wool, okay? So pop your hook under the first loop, grab that back loop and pull it up and through. What you have is one there, and 2 in front. You want to grab everything like so and don't let go. All right, so now we are going to chain 1. Now again, I'm showing you two versions today. So the first version I'm going to do is an extended single crochet, but you can also use a single crochet. That is actually a single crochet US, double crochet in the UK. All right, but I'm going to use the extended one. Again, you can use a normal single crochet if you want your little bud to be even smaller. All right, but I'm going to pop my hook into the space around the both loops that you see in front there, pull a loop through. Now this is just a single crochet version where you just pull your loop through both those loops, yeah? But for the extended single crochet, don't let go of your work, yeah? You're popping your yarn over your hook and pulling it through the first loop on your hook, then yarn over your hook, pulling it through both those loops. It just does what it says. It extends your single crochet up a little bit, or double crochet UK. Now, it's pretty important in this round to pop a stitch marker, because if you're using thinner yarn or you've got a smaller hook, it's going to be difficult to see this stitch, especially if you're using black, all right? Now this is the colours that you will need, the black and the red for your poppy, right? Or you can use other colours if you like. Just grab the tail end a little bit and just pull it a little tiny bit, making sure you've got enough to put in another 7 extended single crochets. Whoops, I nearly put my yarn over the hook. We don't want that. All right, so now we're popping our hook in the space, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first one, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Don't forget you can do your normal single crochet for this. So we've done 2, we need 8 altogether. Off we go doing the next 6. Like so. And another one. That's 4 altogether so far. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. So what you have is that, yeah? What you want to do is grab your tail now and give it a tug, and like magic, it closes up that center. You're not finished with that tail yet. Don't cut it, leave it. We're going to weave it in. Just pop it at the back. We're going to weave that in later, all right? Now you're going to literally go to that stitch with your stitch marker, and again, if you're using black, it's going to be difficult to see. Pop your hook in the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook, remove your stitch marker. All right, now we are going to chain 1 or pull up a loop, make it nice and tall, grab your scissors and give it a cut. And what you have now is that. All right, so you now have officially that little center there. All right, now you need to grab your next color, which in this case I'm using the red as well. All right, now remember, you only need very little of all this yarn, so it's a nice way of getting rid of some of your stash as well, yeah. Normally I would start in a different area, but in this case, because this is such a small piece, I'm going to start in the area that we cast off, that we slip stitched into, yeah. That's the stitch we slip stitched into. Oh, nice tight stitch, yeah. Pop your hook in that stitch, grab your red and pull a loop through like so. Grab your tail end, passing it forward. We're just going to lock it into place with a chain and everything. So you're going to start off by chaining 1 for now. Just pop that tail at the back now. So initially we have 1 chain here. All right. Now, if you wanted to do the same as this one here, that's chain 1 already, chain 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now, I put what we call a double treble in that space. I wrap the yarn around this hook 3 times. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3 for this particular piece here, and I'll show you another one in a minute. So there's 3 there. You pop your hook in the same stitch you are in, pull a loop through, and you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Yep. 4 loops left, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. 3, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Now you can continue making these stitches in a minute, but I want to show you in this piece here, the other version, which is just 1 stitch less. So 1 chain less, so it's chain 3. And then you just do a normal treble of yarn over your hook twice, into the stitch, pull a loop through, and you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through the next 2. 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2. All right. So if you want to do with the 2 wraparounds, then this is what this particular piece will be. If you want the 3 wraparounds, then you can do the bigger version, the one that doesn't sit so flat as well. All right. So you do that again. 2, 2, and 2. All right. And you do another one. Wrap it around twice or wrap it around 3 times, whichever suits you. And you do another one in the same stitch. 2, 2, and 2. So far you have 3 in there, and then you have these chains, which will be classified as 4, right? Now what you want to do, if you're doing this version, do another one in there. Do a 4th one in there. If you're doing this version, just leave the 3. You're going to jump into the next stitch, with another one of these trebles, or triple trebles if you're doing this one here. All right. So yarn over your hook twice, pop your hook in the very next stitch, not the same stitch you're in, the next stitch, pull a loop through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3, yarn over 2, 2, yarn over 2, and do it again. In the same stitch, 2, 2, 2, one more time. Alright, so what you have done is your chain is here, your trebles or triple trebles or whatever you want to call them there, double trebles, everything. And then you've done 3 here as well, or 4 if you're making this one here. Alright, so chain 1, 2, 3 if you're making this one, or 4 if you're making this one. Alright. So now what you want to do, now that you've done your chain 3, you're going to slip stitch into the stitch. It's the same stitch you're in, so slip stitch in that stitch like so, pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook, and you're done with this petal. Then slip stitch over to your very next stitch, pull a loop through like so, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Chain 1, 2, 3 if you're doing this one, chain 4 if you're doing this one. All right, yarn over your hook twice if you're doing this one, 3 times if you're doing this one. All right, into the same stitch and do your stitch 1 and another one. Remember 3 if you're doing the other one. Again, almost forgot that second wrap then. And there you go with that one as well. Now you're going to jump into the next stitch like we did before with this one here. You're going to jump right into the next stitch. So off you go with your 2 loops over, or 3 if you're doing the other one. Jump right into the very next stitch. These 2 are the same, so that doesn't change. And do your stitch 1, 2, 3. Also, I've been forgetting to mention, if you're doing this one, it's 3, 3, 3, and 3. If you're doing that one, it's 4, 4, 4. Okay, make sure you remember that, or you could leave it as 3 if you like. It's entirely up to you. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. You have lots of options here. So now you are going to, you've jumped from here to here. Now you're going to chain your 3, 1, 2, 3 for this one, 4 for the other one, and then you slip stitch into your stitch like so, slip stitch over to the very next stitch, and you do this all over again. 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the other one. Wrap it over twice for this one, or 3 for the other one, and off you go doing your 1 and 2 and 3, or 4 if you're making the other one. Yeah, so now we're going to jump into the very next stitch with our trebles. So 1, 2, or 3 if you're making the other one, into the next stitch, and off you go doing your 3 in there, or 4 if you're making the other one. All right, so you have an option to have yours very flat, or you have an option to have yours angled a little bit, you know, curved if you will. And there's my 3 in there, or 4 if you did the other one. Chain 1, 2, 3 for this one, or 4 for the other one. Slip stitch into the same stitch you are in, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook, straight into the very next stitch, and do your next set. 1, 2, 3, or 4 if you're making the other one. Yarn over your hook again, doing your trebles, or triples if you're making the other one, and your second, and your third, or fourth one if you're making the other one. Grab your tails, make sure they're all at the back here. Now you're going to pop your very last set in there. Okay, so off you go doing your, trebles. I've got my tails in my way. I might just crochet over that tail a little bit. You don't need to. And off you go. It's just to get it out the way. If you can hold it back better than me, that's good. 2 and 3. And again, 4 if you're making the other one. So now you're doing 1, 2, 3 if you're making this one, or 4 if you're making the other one, and you slip stitch straight into the same stitch that you are in first, like so. Then I want you to slip stitch over into the stitch that you first started in. So pop your hook in, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook, make a loop, pull it up, and give your work a cut. All right, so there you go. So yours not only is a tiny little bit smaller, but it lays a little flatter. This one here has so much more curves, but it is larger, but that's okay too. And you can make whatever size you like. All right, to continue real quickly, I'm going to show you how to weave in this last end, and then I think you know what to do with the other ends, and I'll show you quickly that if you like as well. But just real quickly, you're grabbing this tail end and you want it to go at the back. So all you're doing is passing the tail end down your green stitches at the back, like that. Making sure you can't see the red from the front, yeah? So all you're doing is passing it down there, just so you can pull it at the back. Then you can, if you want, go back up and into the red here and under some of that set of stitches there. Turn it over, make sure you can't see the needle from the front, like so. All right, going back in the other direction, different threading of course, because you don't want to unravel what you just did. And off you go. That was your last red stitch. All right, there. Now, the rest is easy. You weave them under everything except this center green. You want to really tighten that up. Grab your needle. I'm using the wrong needle here, but it doesn't matter. It's still working. Give it a tug, make sure it's nice and tight, and pop your needle through the center of your piece. Just checking the front, make sure you can't see the needle. Perfect. Pop it through without pulling other threads in. Now that's really tight, that's not coming undone, but I'm going to do one more. My regulars would know that I'm a stickler about these tails. I really like weaving in ends. I don't like doing them, but I do like making sure they're done correctly. Now I would probably do another one. That's me. I'm not going to bother today because, to be fair, I probably won't use this one much. So you can decide which one you want to make. You can make them both. It doesn't really matter. That's it. That's all there is to it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and do all the wonderful things that you guys, well, pretty much already do for me. And don't forget to join us on our lives at 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings, Melbourne, Australia time. Marry that up with your country. And we have a lot of fun. Sometimes we have too much fun, but we won't go into that. But don't forget to join us on those. My name is Mary. This is Wow Crochet Designs, and ciao for now.